We're at World of Concrete for 2025, and we have a special treat. You love him. We got Chris is back with Martinez hammers. He's got all kind of treats and goodies for you. Chris,
what is up?
Thank you for having me in the booth.
Oh, so proud to see you guys once again.
I'm happy to see
World
you.
of Concrete.
Dude, you're handsome as ever, too.
Oh man, look at this. We're just trying to get like you guys. I wanted to show you something that I don't think's been done before.
Dude, this thing looks wicked, bro.
That is a titanium spine level.
Okay.
It's designed for durability. We saw so many companies that are putting Bluetooth and electronics and everything. We still believe the heart of the worker, they just want it to survive. They just want durability, number one.
So that's me. Like, I hate to say this, I probably could be more productive, I guess, if I learned how to use like the Bluetooth, but I'm an analog man living in a digital world. I just don't want my caveman-like hands to break the tool. This thing looks like very, very robust.
I mean, you can't. It doesn't translate on the film how durable and how well this thing feels. But this is as good as it comes, and it's going to survive.
When I saw it leave his hand and about to hit the ground, I cringed. I was like, oh no!
But yeah, so replaceable vials. You have magnets in here, so it's going to stick. Gonna stick there. Pitch, slope, plumb, 0 degrees horizontal, 45, all the way around.
It's got like everything you need. How do those magnets feel? You mind me?
Yeah, no problem. Over here's steel, so you can tell.
The box. Nice.
See, you get the idea. So the steel pipe is exactly what we designed the other one for, which is a new small level, but check out that thumb screw. Imagine that, tighten it down on your pipe so you can sit hands-free and tell, oh, what's my slope? What's my pitch?
I'm about to make a comment. I know like some of the tradespeople are gonna be like, I like the colors. I like the colors. And why, if you have a choice, why not? Do you have other like framing squares and such, like where I could use these for like stringer layout and such? Is this it all together?
This is one of them. We have another one coming as well.
Nice. I like that these, sometimes like, I gotta be honest, the nuts that I use, they come loose, they're not necessarily big enough, it's just not, I don't know, what's the word, like robust. These feel good when you tighten them down.
Right, omnidirectional, there's a spring nut in here that makes it easy to disassemble and put on, but what's great is you can slide it all the way down, now it goes in your tool belt, you're good to work.
I like it.
So a lot of functionality here, designed by the world famous engineer from Martinez, Jim Aiken. He's standing right here, who is actually the brains behind all of this.
You're a genius. You've developed, it took a genius to develop and dummy-proof all of these tools for us. Thank you very much.
And this is his final one. This is the new Carpenter Square.
That's beautiful.
It's all CNC machine titanium.
CNC titanium.
Holy Lord. Guess what? I didn't expect it to be this light.
Yeah, it's super light.
It is super light. It's deceiving.
It's the beautiful part about titanium. And sometimes, no matter how well you lay out, no matter how well you do, you got to remove that tough nail. And
what's this made out of?
Titanium.
Grade 5 virgin titanium. Not just grade 5 titanium, ingot, pure, consistent throughout. You don't want this to be a Honda Accord, this to be somebody's old bike. Maybe it's your grandma's hip here. It's the same titanium all the way throughout.
I can't believe how light this is. I mean,
and durable.
And it's durable. It feels like it's so lightweight. I know it's not going to, but it feels like if I actually pried on it a little bit, I would snap it. But I know it's not.
Yeah, no,
Martinez wouldn't be selling it.
We're welcome to try it over here at the Big EM booth, but you're not going to. The great thing about this is we're always focused on user protection. Titanium in the hammers. But anything we can do to eliminate the weight, once you have a couple titanium tools on here, that weight on your hips at the end of the day, that grinds, that hurts, and then you get old and you're limping. Nobody wants that. So anything titanium can do to take that weight, the stress off you from daily day, that's what we're aiming for.
And I say it all the time. Listen, when I was your age, I used to think the same way. I'm invincible, it doesn't matter. But now that I'm a little bit older, there's more miles on me, if I can get the same performance, durability, but it's lighter, I don't have to lug it around, it's less stress on my back. It just, when you're wearing that tool belt and it's overloaded, it just transmits into your into your, I hate to say it, but your butt, your hips,
Your
your
hip
legs,
flexors, everything.
your low back. This is like life-saving technology, if you ask my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, we have 3 Ps here at Martinez. We have user protection, we have superior performance, and then we just have preference. Anything you want. Design it the colors of your favorite NFL team or whatever you want. One thing about Martinez that's unique is we have a duplex nail starter. So for our concrete guys, it'll fit. This magnet also, we're always concerned about what value we can bring to our customers.
Right.
This magnet is one of the strongest ones. It doesn't sound much, but when you swing it and get that nail start, it's gonna fit. That nail set is gonna start every single time. And that's very, very important for us.
You know, for those of you that you like nailing by hand, Martinez got you covered.
That's right. It's like you've done it before.
Not as many times as I clearly should have in recent days.
Well, now you can go remove that or any nail.
I gotta be totally honest with you. When they hit your hands, you're just not expecting it. Though this is so light.
It is.
It's amazing. And like I said, it feels like you're gonna snap it. I just know it ain't. You wouldn't be selling it if it was gonna snap. You know what I mean? I know it.
It feels like foam.
It's nuts.
And you can tell we've used this thousands of times in the last couple of days, and
Oh yeah.
it's held up well. Points are still strong. I mean, it's been used.
Oh yeah, heck yeah.
Side nail puller, which is really nice.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you can grab these and just pull them out. It's one of our tools that we're very, very excited about. Here's the milled face, which will give you a little bit more traction.
I like the mill face. I'm trying to pick one out. What's with the heavy hammer? I think I just saw, thanks to Instagram, I saw this over the weekend.
Right.
I was
So
like, is this new? Is this a new offering?
It's been around for about a year, a little over a year.
How can I be so late to the game,
It's
Chris?
the M79. What we did when the workers are driving those pins and
Yeah.
hitting them with the sledge, we wanted to give them the ability to change their Martinez head out with our American Racing product bolt, swap it, then you get the vibration protection from hitting that down. In addition, scrape those forms, get them clean.
So what you're telling me, if I'm hearing this correctly, these are modular frames. I can
Yes.
put this head on any one of these handles.
That's correct.
So you're building your hammer.
Correct. You can switch the finish head off to the framing head, dimple face, smooth face, milled face.
Multiple cut. We got the Joker here. Who
We
is
got
this?
the
Is this
Joker. That's a Joker.
The Joker hammer.
Yeah.
I like the demos.
Now you're good to go.
That's awesome. All the grips are replaceable.
The grips are
This
replaceable.
is like pretty much. I mean, you're investing in a hammer. It's going to last a lifetime.
Right. You're part of the Martinez family. We want to take care of you that way.
I like that.
Okay, you ready? Take 3 seconds.
Oh, you're going to walk me through it?
Yeah, you're going to do it.
Oh my god. Oh no. Talk about putting somebody on the spot.
You're fine. Let's go. This is what you're going to do.
All right.
You are going to gently put it on this side.
Okay.
Hold it. Wrap it.
Sorry.
Let me go get the hammer. They took it. Thank you.
So we're gonna gently put this here.
Right.
We're
and
gonna
you're
wrap
gonna
it,
hammer it.
and then we're gonna drive it down.
You're going to drive it down.
How gently am I hammering? Oh, there we go.
See, you don't even know how strong you are.
When we're gonna meet the face.
Take
right?
out the, yes.
Just tighten it. Look,
Tighten it down.
snug it up like that.
Turn it down. Get your green handle. Always make sure the thumb is on the back because some people at home will install it backwards. Put it on, snap it twice. Use that hammer, hit it down.
Yeah. Stay on target.
You're good, you're good. One more. Reason why the hammer goes on, that handle goes on so tight, is because there's interlocking nylon jaws that fit onto the grooves of that hammer. Now, what I like doing,
You don't want your hammer going flying out of its handle.
no, it's not ideal. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna set this binding post there. I'm gonna flip it over, put the screw in, and you will be done.
That was fast. Beautiful.
You're perfect.
Good?
You're good.
We don't want to break nothing.
All right, now, there is your Built for Chaos Martinez M1 milled face framing hammer.
Just what I wanted. If you like having the options to build the perfect hammer for you, just smash the like button. It's free for you to do. Doesn't cost you a dime. Plus, you'll get 7 years of good luck. Let us know down below. What do you think of Martinez hammers? Do you love them? Do you love them? Or do you love them? We want to know. Leave it all below. With that, I want to say I appreciate each and every one of you.
We love the very cool gang. We do it. MartinezTools.com to get your own hammer. Thank you guys. Keep working hard.
Hope to see you all on the next one. Thank you, Chris.
Perfect. Love it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ryan. We're at World of Concrete for 2025, and we're in the Makita booth. Makita seems to have a whole bunch of solutions in cutting, as in circular saw cutting. We have the foremost expert, Christian's with us. He's going to tell us all about it. Thank you so much for taking it. Thank you, number one, for having us in the booth.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, number two,
Thank you, Vince.
for running us through the demonstrations.
Yes, sir.
What
yes,
can you
sir.
tell us? What's going on? Share it all. Spill your guts.
What we got here is a GSH01, GSH02 as well too. Our GSR here, 10 1/4, a good 2 times the power of an actual corded model as well too, 4 times the actual lumber. Now we're talking about 4x4 SPF that we can actually cut here. 3 3/4 cutting length as well too, so I can cut 4 times the material in a single pass. I got my dust exact, hooked up to it so I can always make sure I keep everything and all the dust settle here, but I'm ready to rip when you are, Vince. You let me know when to go.
Let her rip. So this is this cabinet grade 30, or is this?
This is standard ply, 3/4 ply.
3/4 ply.
I got
sheets of it.
3 sheets of it, right? And in a single pass, I'm able to make an exact clean cut. But hold on, before you get into the machine,
Yes.
more so about the machine, it's a lot about the actual blade. The max efficiency blade, we want to offer the max solution when it comes to just this tool.
Yeah.
All right, so it's not always about the actual tool, it's also about the accessory use as well too.
Absolutely.
So we're not going to throw a red blade in here because that's not what we do here at Makita. We like to use our own here. This 7 1/4 right here, this is 24T, smooth cut. There's no burrs here. Not doing any sanding or finishing after this cut.
So here's my thing. You talked about this being more powerful than even the corded option.
Absolutely. 2 times faster than the corded option.
And 2 times faster.
2 times
and
faster.
and that's, so can you give us a little bit of the secret sauce how Makita makes that happen? Can you tell me?
Brushless motor, but also as well too, we do a little bit with our batteries as well too to give us a little bit more amperage when it comes to the casing and the actual tool. We got our standard 4.0 here, which actually looks exactly about the same size, right?
Yeah.
But our new tabless battery here, we got actually 5.0 amp hour battery in here. Exactly. So same size, you're not going to lose any weight or add more battery to the tool or add more weight to the tool due to ergonomics, but you're going to get an extra kick in power. So if you want to add some nitrous to the engine, that's the best way to do it.
So Christian, just so viewers know, because a lot of times things look similar and they don't know exactly what's in there, right? They're looking to browse. So
absolutely.
Like for people that are shopping for these
Correct.
and they want tablets, right? It's the
Correct.
newest technology. It's going to
Correct.
give them longer run time. There's going to be more life cycles. it looks to me, and I could be wrong, what's the easiest way to identify the difference between the older style battery and the newest technology? Is it this silver here?
Absolutely. I think that's the best way to actually cover it as well, too. You can see some small nuances in as far as the font goes, but it's really the basic, the color.
Gotcha.
And also the model number that you'll see here.
Gotcha.
We'll always place that on the side here, but yes, absolutely. That's the difference between the two, is the color base.
But although this saw seems to be optimized
Correct.
for the tablets,
Absolutely.
for some reason they need to run this. It's backward compatible. The saw.
100%.
Gotcha.
100%. You're still going to get great powder out of this, but if you want extra power, extra precision, if you want quicker cuts and actually more cuts, go for a tabless battery. Newest technology here. You can find it's already out today. Vince, we got to get you one of these, man.
They do have to get me one.
Gotta
now.
get you one.
If you want all the juices, you're going tabless. I see a whole bunch of saws. I get excited when I see the saws.
Well, I also have a smaller counterpart as well, too, The GSR-01, my 7.25. Obviously, this pretty much was birthed from our XSR-01, right? And ever since that one, which is pretty much our flagship saw here, this one is pretty much molded into its own. Magnesium casing, obviously, for more durability, more lightweight.
Yeah.
This one's about a good 2 9/16 cutting depth as well, too. But this one totes about 15 amps of quarter power with the actual 40-volt battery cooked in.
You know, so the LXT model, right?
Yes.
I would always hear from people,
Yeah.
oh, you gotta have 2 batteries. Both batteries have to be charged. That's
Right.
it. This all eliminates all that.
Eliminates all that. You pop your 40-volt in, you're ready to go.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Can we see it cut?
We sure can. Absolutely. You want to cut this one, or you want me to do it?
I'll cut. You know me. I like to get my hands
You want to get
dirty.
you want to
I
get your hands dirty?
I like to get my hands dirty. I like running the saws.
Give it a good rip here. I know you're a professional, so I know you know what you're doing here. But
Dude, that's like butter.
yes,
Woo!
it is. Yes, it is.
That is smooth.
Obviously, the most standard size, obviously in the market as well too. Probably usually the most popular 7.25. But yeah,
Now this blade kind of optimized in the same way that the 10.5 is.
Correct.
For this saw.
correct. Well, this is a thin kerf blade, so just remember that. Max efficiency is meant for thin kerf, optimized for battery. You're gonna get more cuts per charge with this max efficient battery inside this tool. Professional tools, professional accessories. That's what Makita is.
in case some of you might not follow along, I'm gonna break it down. Thin kerf, we're talking about at the carbides, the thickness of the carbides, the actual cut. Thin kerf requires less power, less watt hours to run the tool through the material. It's going to give the tool longer life. It's going to give the batteries longer life. I don't necessarily know why anybody would want to go thick kerf, but that's just me. I don't.
Wouldn't make any sense.
It wouldn't make any sense. I might be missing something.
Absolutely, absolutely. And last but not least, we do have our GSH-05 6.5 model as well too. You know, for those people who do the light carpentry work, who are still professionals as well too, maybe even the MVP space, you can do that as well.
It's just so it's handy. Like
Absolutely.
the 6.5 is handy.
Absolutely.
It probably is doing like 90% of what people need to do.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
You know, when you have the bigger boys but it's just, the thing is that for me, if I only need a 6.5, I don't want to be lugging around a 7.25 because I'm old. I'm old and my joints and all, they don't have many more miles on them. I want to extend the life of them.
And that's why we made 3 levels to it. 3 levels, 3 different types of users as well too, but at the same time as well, we don't want to sacrifice, you know, you having to choose a whole different battery platform if you want a smaller saw.
Dude, I appreciate the overview. Thank you so much, brother.
Thanks for being here, Vince.
Thanks for
We
having us
appreciate
in the
it, man.
booth.
Come see us, let's go.
Let's see what else we can get into in the Makita booth. Let's go. So I see a couple of recip saws behind us, and that means there's going to be a little comparison demonstration. We got Jeff here. He's going to walk us through the newest technology in reciprocating saws.
So it's all about getting the cords off the job site, off the ground, all that stuff. So this is a 15 amp corded replacement on a cordless platform. XGT 4 amp hour battery, GRJ02. It's got our anti-vibration built into it, 3,000 strokes per minute, 1.25 inch stroke length, orbital action as well. We're gonna put this head to head against Milwaukee Super Sawzall.
I'll tell you this much. At first glance, I thought this was going to be like heavy. It doesn't feel, I don't even feel like.
So balance and ergonomics is very important to Makita. You're gonna feel that when you're holding that saw.
This actually feels heavier.
Yeah, that's the weight of the battery, right?
Wow.
And the way it's positioned.
All right. this might not mean much to a young guy like yourself, but for me, I'm getting up there in age. I need all my parts to last as long as possible. This thing, it doesn't even feel like a recip saw. Like no vibration, like not, I don't want to say no vibration, relatively speaking.
Yeah, the counterbalance that's engineered into this actually puts a lot of that vibration back into the work surface, so you're not feeling as much. What does that really mean for the guy out in the field? Is you're actually able to use this for a longer period of time, more work done, your money goes a lot longer.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you right now, I'm still feeling the vibration from that one after using it.
And they're not, Jeff said they're not good vibrations either. You know?
No, I'm still.
Can I run it again?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna try to.
Here, I'll tell you what, this is the best test, right? So take this and then run this about a third of the way through.
Okay.
And then take over with the Makita one and feel the difference.
Okay.
That immediate feel is it tells a good story. Feel the difference there. Pure engineering. That's what it's all about.
You must have like hundreds and hundreds of engineers working on this stuff.
Plenty of them, that's for sure.
I have to go through one time. I got to try to stall.
Yeah.
Do you mind?
Do your thing, man.
All right. All right. Open your eyes, everybody. I gotta tell you, that's pretty awesome.
That's a true corded replacement. That'll directly replace our JR3070, which has been a top seller in the market for a long time too.
My biggest, when we would do like plug cutting and such, long demos, a lot of times, because we would have power, we would always prefer going corded at the time because we could have that consistent, we had the power we needed, number one. The other thing was is that we didn't have to have that large bulky battery hanging off. It's easier to use. Guess what? This is so vibration free.
Yeah.
And you got the power now.
You got the power there, you got runtime with it as well. And to think about this, when you're in that demo site, they start dropping on the floor, your cords are covered, and you rip it out of the wall, you gotta go back and plug it in. You're cord free here.
That's a good point, Brian. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
Generally, when you're done cutting all that wood, you're gonna need to stick it all together somehow. And we got Fernando.
How are you?
Good, how are you, my friend? Thank you for having us in the booth.
Yes.
What do you got for me?
So we have the new 18-volt LXT framing nailer.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to be shooting on double stack LVL.
Okay.
3-inch by 131, 21-degree framing nailers.
Okay.
Okay, right now we have it on bump mode. It'll give you 2 shots per second. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. You ready?
Yeah.
So it gives you about 1,000 shots on a full 5-amp battery. Okay, 1,000. 400 on a 2-amp. It's about 11.5 ounces in weight. It gives you 2 modes. It has the bump and your standard mode.
So bump mode, standard mode.
Yes, sir.
Is your depth
Adjustment. It has an LED light and it has an anti-slip nose. So when you're doing it at an angle, it doesn't slide out and you can get an angle.
Do you place your shot? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Rafter hook?
Rafter hook and sky hook at the same one.
The sky? Did you say sky hook?
Yes.
The sky. Everybody loves the sky hook.
Yes, it
I
does.
love it.
Run it.
You don't mind if I
Go for it, man.
It's also got lockout in case you run out of nails. You don't want to, like, I don't know, it would destroy the striker or something, right?
Letting it get clogged up and then you're standing there trying to unclog it and whatnot. So one of the cool things too is that we can add more nails to it with the existing ones and it'll still go. So this way you're utilizing all the nails and not just dropping nails.
Beautiful. Now, are there extended magazines?
We will have an extended magazine, yes.
And right now, this will only take a single rack?
A single rack for right now, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a price point on this?
We'll be competitive to the competition.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. You mind if I run some?
Go for it.
It's kind of fun.
It is fun.
Fernando, Appreciate your time.
Appreciate
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
You got to power all these tools somehow. And we got a guy that's going to tell us how Makita gets it done. We're with Robert.
Hey, Vince. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Yo, thanks for having us in the booth.
Appreciate it. So got a couple things to show off to you here. We have the BCC01 and 02 overnight trickle chargers. This way you can store all your batteries, charge them overnight in series, 4 at a time. The great thing is it's not drawing a ton of amperage, so you can plug 4 of these boxes into one 15 amp circuit.
Yeah.
And it's gonna charge them all overnight. So you're not having to switch back and forth in your rapid chargers. The great thing is we have 2 options here. This one you can charge 12 of the 2.5 amp or 4 amp hour batteries. This one here we have bigger capacity, so you can do your 8 amp hour and your 5 amp hour batteries overnight as well. Or you can also do your LXC batteries with the adapter, the ADP10 adapter. Yeah, these will be available later this year, and we're really excited about them because it actually gives us finally a solution. And you don't have to rewire your garage. You don't have to do any kind of special amperage or anything like
I
that.
think that's a big benefit.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to have a dedicated circuit ran as long as it's a 15, right?
Yep, and you can plug 4 of these into a 15 amp circuit.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, just run it all night long, and you wake up in the morning, everything's charged up and ready to go.
Did you give us a price point on these yet?
Not yet. It'll be coming out later, and we'll have more details to follow.
Oh. Okay. It's holding something back. You got to hold a little something back. Get subscribed and enable notifications because when we get the price, you'll get the price. So these are your new tabless batteries.
Yeah.
So can you give us a little bit higher of a overview of tabless? Because I'm a nerd, and I know some of you are too, and you like this tech stuff.
So what we have here is the BL4040F, our new tabless battery in the 4 amp hour size of your 40 volt max. What this does is gives you the power of a 5 amp hour battery and the size and fit of a 4 amp hour. And as you can see with the demo we just ran here, you can really hear and feel the power difference. And what this does is basically instead of running the power through one battery cell at a time, it pulls the power from all the cells at the same time. So you're able to get more power, better feel, or longer runtime out of the same form factor of your 4 amp hour battery. So
I would assume that another benefit would be that you could actually charge it faster.
it does, yes. This will still charge within the 45 minutes on the 4 amp hour versus a little bit longer on the regular one, or a little bit longer on the 5 amp
So you
hour.
can pull that power out faster, but you can jam it back in quicker too.
Yeah, and not only will it charge faster, but it runs a lot cooler. So when you are charging, you can pick this thing up and you'll be able to feel the difference.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand, like, it's the heat that kills cells. The heat, and that sometimes rapid charging could degrade, but Makita has fan cooling, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Plus with the new battery technology, they don't heat up getting that jamming that power in and pulling it out.
Exactly.
Like old cells, the tablets are much more efficient. At least I hear.
Yeah. And that's why we're able to charge it faster, because you're still pulling the heat out, but it's pulling it out more efficiently. And it's why it'll run the tools better, because it's dissipating everything better and using the energy more efficiently.
You know, me personally, you know what I like so much about XGT? Is that the platform, and of course there are instances where you need to run 2 batteries, but that platform, you're running the smallest tools all the way up to the biggest tools, and you don't need a separate battery platform. It's genius. So what do we have?
Okay, so this is our X Defense tool management system. This is gonna be coming out in a couple of weeks now. This is the ADP13 adapter. This is all you need to unlock the technology that's already in the tools and the batteries. What this allows you to do is protect all of your XGT tools and batteries by pin coding, recording ownership information. You can add job site notes, anything that you want there. And all you need is this one adapter to access it.
So you don't need an adapter for every tool. You need one adapter to read the information from the tool. Is that right?
Yeah, you need the one adapter. You set all your parameters the first time. You set your pin codes the way you want to. And then it's as simple as 1, 2, 3.
Nice.
Batteries, move on to your next one. So this is a one-time use. You get all your batteries set, you get all your tools set, and then this is how you're actually using it, even though this is a bit of a funky. So these are matched as 1, 2, 3, 4 pin code, right?
Okay.
So this is gonna work together. But if I try to use this tool with the battery that's not pin coded to match, it's not gonna work. What it's doing is making sure that
it's just matching the batteries to the tool, like a safety, like a security feature.
Exactly. And the best part is you own all the information. You only need one of these to set all of your tools and batteries one time. You're not using it in daily use. This is a few seconds setup, during the initial setup. You own all the information. You set the pin codes the way you want to. Other than a warranty registration, there's no You don't need the internet. You don't need anything else to get this set up. You put this back in the box.
Anthony, are you listening? Robert said you can get rid of your pink spray paint. Nobody's going to steal your batteries and tools anymore because they ain't going to work with their tools or batteries. Throw that paint can away, bro. No more pink spray paint. That's it.
And if they do, it's going to be.
I mean, you can paint a pink if you want, but you don't have to. So that's my point.
Absolutely. So this will be coming out, and like I said, the great thing is it works on all XGT tools and batteries from day one. So anything that you bought 5 years ago, in the XGT line, you'll be able to access it with this and use it going forward. And like I said, this is a one-time setup, so you throw this back in the drawer and you don't need to use it again unless you want to change it.
I have to ask a question. What's the price point on this?
$99.
There you go, 99 bucks.
Yep, it'll be available in about 2 weeks.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, guys.
After you make a mess on the job site, generally you got to clean up. Jeff has something for us to get that job done. He's going to tell us all about it.
This is our GSV XGT 40 volt sweeper vac. Great for cleaning up commercial job sites, or in this case, trade show sites. It'll clean up to 93,000 square feet on a pair of the 8 amp hour batteries we included with the kit.
Wow.
It's got a 25.5 foot wide cleaning area.
Yeah.
You got the sweeper, which is going to, the circular sweeper, which is going to bring everything in the middle. Got 2 rotating brushes underneath that pick everything up, and a HEPA filter vacuum with a cleaning mechanism.
Cleaning out the debris. Is there a bag, a canister? Like, what are we looking at?
The back, simple lever, got a catch can.
Oh, wow.
Holds about 6 gallons. We do have a larger bag that'll be available as an accessory for this in the next month or 2. But then you also have a cleaning mechanism, which we can actually, you'll be able to see it cleaning off we got the pre-filter there. So I'll run the agitator.
Oh,
you see actually shake off that storage is simple. Handle folds up. That's all the space it takes in your shop or van.
There's no bigger pet peeve than guys that leave the job site dirty at night and then have to clean it first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, why would you want to start the day off with that? Like, y'all want to just get right to work. This will make it easier. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. So I have multiple friends that are in the Ironworkers Union. And I gotta tell you, it's backbreaking work. Bent over with lineman pliers, tying that rebar wire up. Makita has a solution to remove some of that backbreaking work from all you. And we got Larry who's gonna tell us all about it. So I got a whole bunch of friends in the Rod Setters Union, okay? And they asked me if you can help save their back, legs, knees, feet.
Yep.
What you got for us, Chief?
World's first 16 gauge rebar tire on our new 40 volt XGT platform. So this is shooting a 16 gauge wire, single strand, just like what you're hand tying with now. Also has a large capacity, any combination up to a number 17.
Okay.
So a 10 by 7, 11 by 6, 3 5s, 4 4s, whatever it may be.
And it's
Giving you
completely
that
automatic. They're not needing
Completely
to go
automatic.
back and it will adjust on its own.
Absolutely. You can adjust the tension. So you can go from 1 to 6 on the tension for the strength of tie.
Okay.
Which is another feature on this. It's giving a 65% stronger tie than our previous version.
Yeah.
So when you're tying a flat mat and people are walking on it, you're not popping the ties. Or if you're tying a vertical in a cage that's being lifted, it's not getting loose and readjusting everything.
Wow, okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, so much easier to use.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Loading procedure.
Loading procedure.
My guys, my friends, they're still tying by hand.
Right.
So they're using lineman pliers.
Yep.
They're gonna say, oh, listen, this is too complicated. I don't know how to use these tools.
Right. So loading procedure.
So you
have
have the roll?
your spool.
Okay. Open her up.
You've got a single line here. Push it up in there. You've got a window here. When you see the wire come up between those gears, close your window. Re-engage your battery. Turn the power on. Nope, I didn't get it pushed up far enough.
Push your power.
And it's loaded and ready to go.
That's like magic. Can I try it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice. Holy Lord. What did I do?
So you get, if you do have a jam, Just simply power it on, power it off, it'll clear itself.
So simple a caveman can use it. This is amazing. This is great. They're gonna love this.
Yeah.
They're gonna love this.
Now you're talking about the guys who are hand tying?
Oh yeah.
If they're hand tying mats. We also have an extension. So you mount the tool here.
Oh Lord.
Triggers up here. So now you're walking and tying instead of bending over.
You don't have to bend over anymore. This is unbelievable. Told you, Larry was gonna save you. No wonder why it's the star of the show.
Yeah, absolutely. The biggest thing is the 16 gauge wire. So it's a single wrap, giving you a stronger tie.
Yeah.
Bigger capacity in the jaw, and all on our XGT platform, which are all of our other concrete solutions on the same battery platform.
But the way this tool is automated, like even the jamming and all.
Yep.
Like think about how much labor
Absolutely.
this will save and more consistent.
So this isn't a tool, it's a time machine.
I like it. It's not a tool, it's a time machine.
That's right.
That's awesome. Do you have a price point on this yet?
It's going to be competitive with the Max Twin Tire.
Okay.
So we don't know the exact price point, but we know it's going to be very competitively priced.
I appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
Glad
Larry.
to do it. Thank you.
Yep, give it a little bit of a push because you got a little bit of texture. And now it's gonna start, now your section's up and you're at 2 bars, so you can go and pick it up.
We're at Roll the Concrete for 2025 and we're in the DeWalt booth. And I've spotted something that I haven't been able to get my hands on. You've wanted it, and now we have it on the channel. We have an expert. Rob is going to tell us all the information.
Yeah, so quiet impact. This is the DCF 870, right? So small format, very similar to the 850. You guys have tried the 850 before. Difference in this is hydraulic, right? So we call it quiet hydraulic. It is the most powerful hydraulic unit impact driver that's out there, right? Against all the competitors. So 500 inch-pounds. A lot of people look at impacts and they say that's super low. All hydraulic units, they work differently, right? So one of the differences that you're gonna see in this, we don't have spring mechanisms. We're dealing with hydraulic fluid that's pushing through veins.
Okay.
So one of the unique things about that is, a couple things, it gives you more control, right? So one of the nice things about that, especially if you're doing finer screws, all the way up to deck screws, it gives you a lot of that capability. In control, you also have 2 speeds. So instead of it being 3, there's just 2 speeds. There's a high and a low.
Okay.
That third setting is actually just a light setting that's on it, right? So some folks don't want the light on. They're maybe working in an environment where you got a lot of reflective material. They want to be able to turn that off so it's not on for 20 minutes.
That's a
so
nice
you have the
feature to
ability to
have.
be able to have it on there.
Yeah.
You do have a brand new LED system on the front too.
Pretty wicked.
But probably the more important thing, like when we talk around hydraulic, the control thing is one, but the other one is consistent torque. So with a traditional, right, like our XR unit, you guys have tried the 870 or the 860 out, I think.
860. Yep. We've had them all except for that one right there.
When you look at a traditional impact rate, you got your anvil on the front end, you got your hammering mechanism, and then also what you have in there is you have a spring-loaded system in there.
Okay.
So one of the things that's different in this is, like I was mentioning, you have hydraulic fluid that's going through veins essentially. So in that, what that does is you get consistent torque. That's the nice thing about this. And that consistent torque translates both in fastening, but also it's going to transition when you're drilling also.
Okay.
So if you got like a spade bit or you're putting an impact ready drill bit in there and you're going through metal, whatever, you're not going to actually hear that spring mechanism collapsing constantly. And that hence also quiets the sound. So it's not just because of the hydraulic fluid that's keeping it quiet, it's actually that the mechanism itself that's quieter in general.
So if I'm understanding this correctly, right?
Yeah.
You're describing a hammer and anvil in here, which creates more max torque, but there's spikes. Yeah. So there's a high amount of torque and then drop off. High amount of torque, drop off. Whereas this is just a more flat line.
It's a more of a flat line consistency, right?
Yes.
So if you looked at it, that's what you're gonna see in a hydraulic unit. Where this guy, you're gonna see that up, and you'll see that drop, and then you're gonna see an up, and then you're gonna see that drop, where this is that consistency. So that's when you look at like, either it's gonna be the 845 like this, or you look at the 860, you're gonna get that 2,500 inch-pounds, right? Yeah. And you're gonna see that it's just gonna go up, down, up, down, up, down, because of that hammering mechanism constantly going back and forth. When you're doing with hydraulic, you're pushing the fluid through those veins, and that's where you get that, there's just that consistent torque all the way through.
So I have a question then. I don't want to get too far in the weeds, but if I heard you correctly, you're be able to complete more precise work with this.
Yeah,
as well.
That's where that control piece comes into. Like that's where you get into the control. One of the things that you're going to see is it's a very smooth transition because you don't have that hammering mechanism that spring collapsing.
Makes sense.
So I always bring it up to that scale. When you look at an impact driver and impact wrench, they're working the same way. Mechanisms are just getting bigger, right? So if you grab like, say our large impact wrench in our XR line, all you're doing is that hammer mechanism and your spring is just getting bigger. It's getting wider in girth and also in length. So that's where you're getting that noise from, right? It's not just putting hydraulic fluid in a traditional system. The mechanism is a completely different system inside.
Gotcha.
So that's where you get a lot more control. So whether, like I said, doing a deck screw, or you're doing like cabinet install and you're doing that really refined work, you get that consistency in it, and you get a little bit more control as you go down in speed 2, or down into speed 1, you get a little bit more control.
Look, what are we seeing in the real world as far as driving of those fasteners?
Yeah, so when you start getting into, like, well, let's just look at timber screws, right?
Yeah.
You guys are doing tests all the time. You do timber screws, you do deck screws, all that. What you're gonna see is that in our traditional, like in the 860, it's gonna blow this out of the water every single time.
Okay.
Right?
Fair enough.
Because it's got 2,500 inch-pounds. But what you're gonna see in this is consistency in smaller diameter stuff, right? So like your larger, like 3/8 timber screws, that's where 860 is gonna come in. But if you have somebody that's like working in, say, like the MRO space in maintenance, repair, and operations, they're working in a hospital, a nursing home, this is 60% quieter than our traditional impact, right? Yes. So that's where you're gonna see there's that advantage.
I would think that every contractor becomes a contractor because they love running tools, right? So every once in a while, if we're doing a rollout project or there's an opportunity on second or maybe even third shift, I'll run my business during the day and then I'll go and work with the guys at night. But I did always have one criteria: no impact drivers, because it was too much.
Oh, it's booming, yeah.
And I would prefer hydraulic. A lot of the commenters said I was being like, just being a complainer about it. But if I have the opportunity to use something that's quiet and get the job done, why wouldn't I do it?
It's purpose built based on the user and their criteria, what they're looking for. Not saying this can't do timber screws, right? It's gonna do the application. If I'm replacing 3/8 or 1/2 inch lags with timber screws that are out there that are code compliant, this is gonna be able to do it, right? It's just gonna do it at a slower pace, but very consistent every single time.
Quiet.
If you're looking for speed, that's where 860 is gonna come in. So it's based on the work, and that's why we're very purpose driven in what we're doing.
Well, this looks interesting. What do we have?
This is the DeWalt Grabo lifter. So this is gonna allow you to be able to pick up all of your, really, you talk about drywall, talk about like diamond plate, talk about acrylic, tile. Tilers love this thing, right?
You know what? I would tell you, I would love this thing. 10 years ago, we used to do a ton of fixture installs for I'm not gonna name the brand name, but they're heavy steel fixtures. We would install them and there was nowhere to grab. All flat sides. We used to have to use manual, like suction cup stop. Yeah. This would have helped.
One of the neat things about this, right, is that we've built in the ability to know your PSI rate or bar. So if you're in Europe, you're working off, you want to know bar rate, it'll do that too.
I was gonna say PSI is where I live. Bar, it's above my pay grade. I don't know anything about bar.
Hey, but but it also is going to give you an indicator of what your battery life's at.
Perfect.
Right? In that also, as we built in, there's a sensor. If there's not enough battery charge, you're down to 1 bar, you're down below 25%, it's not going to allow it to turn on.
That's awesome. So
you're not going to be in a situation. But one of the things, it's continuous suction. So even if you're working on like drywall is somewhat porous, right? Based on what drywall you're working with. Some of your stuff that's going to be green, right? That's going to be more moisture driven, thicker base paper. It's going to be not as porous than standard drywall is, right? So one of the nice things is going to keep a constant suction. One of the things is as you get into things like steel, we put this down, give it a little bit of a push because we've got
even it's diamond plate, right? So it's not completely flat.
Yeah. So the beauty about this is, right, you can do glass and other products too, down to 4 millimeters, right? You want to stay away from curved glass with this. We recommend no curved glass.
Is there a potential to crack it or break it?
Yeah, anytime you put suction to, and even with a manual suction cup, you really want to be careful with it because you can potentially crack. So you'll see that it gets up, right, and it's going to give you these 4 bars.
Okay.
So right now it's running continuously, and what you're going to see is essentially when you're at 2 bars, you're good to pick up. Now when it's at 4 bars, 265 pounds up. Now when you're holding it horizontal, if I'm holding a piece of, say, like form board, now I have 132 pounds that I have the ability to be able to do. So one of the nice things is you can't actually mistakenly hit this button, it shuts off on you.
Right.
So you got that, you're working by yourself and you're hauling it. You always have to go green button first, and then we have actually a safety switch on here. You have to push forward and then down.
It's pretty much like, you know, when you're using the computer and you try to delete something and they're like, do you absolutely want to do this?
Yeah.
It saves you.
It's one of those nice, it's a really nice thing. Again, gasket system, it's gonna be a foam base and then a rubber. This is a replaceable part. So this actually just gets pulled out. You can replace this. This is the biggest thing, is making sure this is cleaned off, right? As long as you clean this off, you're gonna be good. If you get a tear in it, replaceable part.
So here's the thing for me, especially like with tile, and I, you know, going from like polished fixturing to something with tile where there could be some type of, you know, sediment, where it could be abrasive, right? You know, being able to replace this, make sure that you have all the suction you need, it's not degraded. I like that.
And the one of the things that you'll notice is when we say 265 pounds, you're like, who's picking up 265 pounds by themselves?
Isn't it pulling force, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pulling force on it. Not a lot of people are going to be picking something up in a vertical fashion, 265 pounds. If you are, you're probably going to have some back problems. What we're looking at though too, in that whole factor, is when we're talking about 265 pounds, you could actually now have somebody else have another one. You'd be picking up a whole entire countertop, right? The biggest thing with this, it's not necessarily about lifting capacity all the time. It's you're putting a handle on something that doesn't have a very good grip in space.
Absolutely.
You know better than anybody. There's tile that's out there, it's 2 foot by 4 foot, and tile's getting even bigger in the commercial space. When you're laying that type of tile down, you're talking about something that's about 130, 120 pounds. So that's that space that we're always looking at, where when you're laying that tile down, you don't want to just get down and just go boop.
Here's the other thing. Once you lay it down, you don't want to have to pick it back up.
No.
So the more precision you can put it down with the first time, I like having a handle. Do you prefer traditional style impact drivers or hydraulic? Wow. That wood, or as Clint would say, the woodage, it's not cooperating. Quick insert collet. And now that we've had it on the channel, let us know down in the comment section below. We want to know, leave it all below. With that, I want to say I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Thanks a lot, everybody. Hope to see you all on the next one.
We're all about disrupting technology that people can't do.
We're specifically focused on the end user, bringing solutions through power tool accessories. We want to protect the end user, make the job easier. We want to make their tools last longer, let them get more holes per card, more runtime out of their batteries, and make it an overall good experience. So really we're able to focus on those power tool accessories and how we make the the working world a better place, safer, faster, easier, and let them use their tools to their maximum capabilities.
What we're launching here today is we came up with a brand new carbide formulation that's harder and it's more impact resistance. So it can take the heat when you're cutting and hitting debris, and it also in clean wood lasts significantly longer. A single blade can significantly extend battery life, right?
So we've built what we call a nasty sandwich, right? So it's filled, it's a 2x12 dimensional lumber filled with 40 quarter-inch lag bolts. I got 2 layers of shingles, 2 layers of flashing, top of the piece of plywood. The next generation tracking point. Let's see how we do.
Steve, show them how clean that cut is.
So you can see. All right, let's keep going. I still got more gas in the tank. We can flip this around and keep going.
So that blade starts shipping next month. And guess what? The original blade was $10. Guess how much this blade's going to retail for? $10. That's version number 8.
Hi there, everyone. My name is Vince. And while we visited with Diablo at the World of Concrete, we saw a whole bunch of new technology. From innovative tooth geometry on a new-to-world recip saw blade, which is something you've never seen before, to metal cutting drill bits that are an all-in-one solution, no matter what type of metal you're working with. Although the most interesting thing about the Diablo booth was the one thing you will not see. Hear me out. While some competitors have decided to take the what's old is new direction with some of their new offerings, Diablo has said no. We're going to improve upon new solutions through innovations in carbide geometry and quality. Later in this video, you'll see a head-to-head test, Diablo tool versus the competitor's new product. I was so amazed at what I was seeing, but thought to myself, I don't think this test tells the whole story. Stay tuned, because I'll weigh in later in the video on how this affects you.
The next thing we're going to talk about is, I think you guys know that we also have the Freud brand of product, and Freud brand is really designed for cutting tools for the industrial market. So what we did is we took that technology and we brought it down to portable saw, both table and miter saws. So what you're happening when you cut it, it actually polishes it. In fact, if you go back with 220 grit sandpaper, you're going to ruin the finish of what the saw blade will cut. So that's significant technology, significant breakthrough, significant efficiency. Here's the blade, shipping now, $19.97. All right.
Tear out is 0. So there's no additional work required to fit this in place. I tell you what, one of the hardest materials to cut, chip-free, Melamy, look at that. Usually this would be all chipped up, and you could do things like put tape, turn it over, but perfect cut without all those additional steps. We're about to cut this piece. It's just pre-stained or pre-finished?
Pre-stained, birch veneer, very thin veneer, prone to chipping out, tearing out.
We try to cut this with a conventional blade, you're seeing all this tear out here. What can Diablo do for you? That's exciting. These blades are awesome. A 60-tooth blade from Diablo, I feel like I used to spend $40-something. This was what, 30 bucks?
$19.97.
We got the foremost expert in cutting metal in the Diablo booth.
We just cut 24 inches with the Diablo Cermet blade. We're gonna have no problem cutting hundreds of feet of heavy gauge metal with Diablo Cermet.
This blade's already made how many cuts?
A dozen cuts.
A dozen cuts. You're gonna make one more for us.
We can do that.
Beautiful, let's do it.
Still cutting well, still cutting cool. You're gonna get plenty of life out of that blade with fast cuts. 24 inches, 3/8 plate, you cut it 30 seconds.
I see you're cutting with the saw set at full depth. Is that how they should run this blade, or should they be setting it for the thickness of the material?
You're cutting wood, you wanna set your depth, you don't need to go deeper, and you're gonna get a better finish. When you're cutting metal, if you go full blade depth, you're gonna make a faster cut, and you're gonna get longer blade life.
Beautiful. And if you didn't know, now you know. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
We're all about listening to users and listening to the feedback that they're giving us. And a very standard application for plumbing for anybody cutting PVC and ABS is how do you do it, how do you do it clean, how do you get it to a fitting, and how do you move on. ABS is getting more and more popular out, and we're showing inside of here there's ABS, and that's harder to cut. And that actually has a belt point you're going to see that causes problems for users out there.
Vince, what we have here is our PVC and plastics blade. What we found is a lot of people have transitioned when you're cutting through PVC or ABS to a one-handed recip saw. And we thought that we needed to improve upon that blade to make it more effortless to cut through, quicker, and leave less rework required at the end. So just let the weight and the tool do the work, and the blade engages smoothly and easily. Very little resistance. The rework is not required, and you see the competitive blade is still cutting, and it takes enough time that that can actually melt these two pipes together. So when comparing the two, you can see the burrs that come from the competitor blade. That will all have to be reworked versus the Diablo. You have a clean finish on the edge of the pipe ready to go.
Is this specific to this blade? Like these look offset and chamfered.
It is very specific to this blade, very specific to this application, designed specifically for that PVC and ABS to cut through and leave that clean edge on it. Speed is there, finish is there, and you're on to the next part of the job.
There was a big call to help from first responders. Cars are using more and more advanced steels, lighter weight, but higher strength steels, such as boron. And things like jaws of life can't get in there and fix it, especially when you get to beams. That's what we're showing you right here. You got your A beam, B beam, C beam, all those beams, jaws of life just can't get through. Diablo responded with the first carbide tip reciprocating blade. And so instead of spending up to $30,000 on a jaws of life, now you go for 15 bucks by carbide tip recip blade that you can rip through it.
A lot of the fire services, fire and rescue extrication specialists, they love this blade, but there's so many things that we want to continue to listen to the end user and come up with an even better solution. So that's where we launched the fire and rescue blade. It has a tapered design at the front of the nose, allow you to plunge into the windshield, plunge into different areas of the cars that are hard to access in order to extricate a patient. But also it's a more robust blade. So if you take these two and compare the thickness of the two blades, we made it a little bit more robust so you can tackle all of the different profiles in this type of B pillar, A pillar that you may find in the cars that are now using high strength, low mass steels. That blade is still ready to go for another cut. So what we want to ensure is that they can cut through the A, B's, and C pillars, get a patient out of the car, move on to the next piece of that crash site.
So what I would want all of you to see is, you know, you're looking at it on the outside, but look at all of these layers of steel that make up this A pillar. 5 layers of steel are making up this unit. We just cut through that. Every tooth is intact. You seen that? Years ago, to make it through this first layer, or maybe 1 or 2 layers, we probably would have gone through a pack of metal blades.
25 pack, right?
Easily to get through this.
10 years ago, it worked, right? Because it was mostly mild steel. But as they add more high strength alloys to it, those bimetal blades can't keep up with this type of material.
The other thing is that we're going through this dry. You're not even using any type of lubricant, anything to cool this down. I guess that black ice coating is working.
Yes, sir. Protects it.
Amazing. Always, every year I come back, there's no way I could be amazed again, but every time they amaze me over and over again.
We came out with a full carbide head. It's about 7 times more carbide, and it can withstand up to 1,800 degrees. So now when you're drilling through rebar, you need to be able to handle up to 1,200 degrees. So this bit can take the heat. This is the benchmark in the market, say that a common SDS Plus, that costs around $8. This is going to be around $12 to $13. So not a big price, but the performance is radical and significant.
My snap lock adapter, gonna quickly connect to my bit. All right, so we're locked in, ready to go. Lock that in. We're gonna drill 10 inches deep. You're gonna see a little bit of debris here on the surface, but more importantly, all that dust is gonna come out of the hole while I'm drilling. So I'm done with my hole. My flutes aren't all packed up, so I can easily remove that. So deep hole drilling, I'm not fighting all that dust that's packed into my flute. Now I can get my concrete screw if I need. Again, inside of that hole is already clean. We've already got that certified with anchor companies that they could go from drill. To fill. So, and if I need to go in a smaller diameter, more of the interior guys, I don't need deep hole drilling. We're inside, we're overhead. Again, I can quickly change from that larger bit. So 3/8 diameter.
There are so many benefits, but I think the one that's kind of glossed over is the actual speed in which you could actually drill a hole. Like, in addition to it being cleaner, less particulate in the air, you're even drilling the holes faster because there's none of that dust in the way of the drill, the cutting head.
Yeah, when there's no dust here, you're not just grinding that over. So not only got a 4-cutter head that can drill longer in regular concrete, it can penetrate and go through rebar, and when you're removing that, it's going to last even longer because you don't have all that abrasive material in there grinding away at your head.
Last year, we launched our Demo Demon blade, and this lasts 10 times longer for still the blade for $15, right? We're going to take that same carbide formulation that we put on the Diablo, we're going to upgrade here to our Demo Demon. We're going to show the batteries on the back.
In this test, what you might not realize is that this is a test of Diablo's Demon thin curve saw blade versus the competition's thick curve saw blade. What has happened is the saw with the thick curve blade was unable to make a single full-length cut through the engineered lumber, while the Diablo blade goes on to make multiple passes. Years ago, a thick curve blade would have been considered a more accurate blade, but that was a time when circular saws were still corded. To overcome the runtime and power obstacle of battery-operated circ saws, Diablo decided to go thin curve. This would create less resistance through the material you'd be cutting. To deal with the accuracy obstacles with thin curve, Diablo used laser cut kerf technology as well as tracking point tooth geometry, which allows for a fast and accurate circular saw cut. My question for all of you would be, if you have a blade that cuts as well as thick kerf, the blade lasts as long, if not longer, but also maximizes the life of your cordless tools, and more importantly, the batteries. Why would you choose thick kerf? Am I missing something? Or is thick kerf just a way to put a new polish on old technology?
So that's powerful. And think about the productivity when you can do double the cuts for one shot.
Now, it's one thing to see a demonstration at the manufacturer's booth. It's another to test it for yourself and have your own set of results and data. Let us know down in the comments if you'd like us to duplicate this test so you can make a better informed decision when you're buying your next circular saw blade. Okay, back to the show.
And so you go to any retailer in the country, in the world, they're going to have black oxide, titanium, and cobalt, right? And the performance is very, very weak. Tools have increased significantly, but the quality hasn't performed. So what we did is we re-engineered, awakened the industry by coming up with one radical design that replaces the need to have black oxide, titanium, and cobalt, and allowing the users to just get one bit for any application they need.
So we looked at it and said, okay, how do we simplify the situation? So number one, it required performance, right? We're not gonna put it out on Diablo if it's not gonna bring a true solution for the end user. Number two, we decided, look, why have three when I can make one bit at such a high quality that it's gonna drill any of those materials that we talked about, stainless, hardened, mild steels, any kind of composites, even the regular hardwoods or softwoods, and it's gonna get the job done on all of those at a premium performance level on where the market is today.
Gotcha. Now, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
What am I seeing here? Is this from use or is this?
No.
Is that a coating?
This is actually intentional. This is actually a coating, right? So, and what that coating does, it protects all those special grinds and geometries that we have underneath that coating, so it delivers maximum performance, right? Heat's the biggest enemy of any cutting tool. So as that bit's cutting, we want to keep that heat away from that bit, keep it sharp, and let it do its job. So if we want to test it out, I got a piece of 1/8 inch stainless steel, 3/16 mild steel. We got a little sandwich here, and we can go to work and you can see how it cuts, the size of the chips, the pigtails that it throws off.
So this is stainless and this is mild steel.
304 stainless.
I would love
and
to.
then mild steel underneath.
You know me, I always love running the demos.
Hey, let's go.
All right.
Let me chuck it up for you. Lower RPM is recommended for stainless and hardened steels, right? You want to let that tool, you don't want to generate too much heat.
Okay.
You know, if you're dipping in a wax or using some sort of cutting fluid, always going to extend the life of the accessory.
Okay.
But in this case, we're just gonna let you go to work. There you go. Let it rip. All right, just keep it vertical, that constant pressure. And you want to look for the size of that chip. So you really, as you see that chip, the bigger the chip, you optimize that pressure and then just let it eat. And so you're making great progress through that stainless. And then as it cuts through that stainless, once you hit that mild, you're gonna see a little bit bigger chips just due to the metallurgy of the material. But you can feel that, right?
Yeah.
And it's not just about one hole, right? We're gonna drill one hole here, but it's about over the life of the bit. And that's the other thing, the consistency and our grinding capabilities. All right, give me a little bit more 90 degrees there. Lean forward a little bit.
Am I?
Yeah, you're leaning back. There we go. Yep. Yeah, come up a little bit. There we go.
You know what it is?
What's
Just
that?
To be honest with you, you should have gave me a little step stool
Sorry,
over
no,
there.
you got this. You're almost there. I can hear it. But I mean, it's again, if you didn't have this bit, you're going to be sitting on this material for minutes.
Oh, of course.
You know, hey, there you go. Yeah.
I didn't.
Right.
I got to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting. I was waiting to go through the stainless.
Right.
I didn't realize I was even into the mild steel yet.
Right. Right. And again, if you're on high-speed steel, you can drill faster. You could go to 1,000, 1,000 RPMs or a little bit more than that. As long as you can control it.
I got you.
And then the consistency is one of the biggest things that this bit delivers.
I think that it did really. Even after I got through the stainless, I feel like it still cut pretty rapid through the mild.
Oh, it'll fly through
But
the mild.
what you're saying is that if we were to optimize for the mild, like maybe go speed 2, it would go through even faster.
Now, on all these drills, it's trigger, right? It's
you trigger control.
Yeah,
Sure.
trigger control on your RPM. So you wouldn't going to go all the way up to 2,200, but if you went to 1,000, 1,500 on mild, it expedites it.
I got you. Well, this is why this trigger is infinitely variable.
There you go.
You got to use prudence. trigger controls. The best trigger controls right here is your finger.
Yeah, but you know, for the true industrial MRO, they can put it on a drill press, a little cutting fluid. It's hundreds of holes.
I have a question.
Yep.
So compared to a standard drill bit, like what's the, because this is premium, what's the premium price point?
So great question. You know, again, we talked about black oxide, titanium, cobalt. Typically,
and I always think that cobalt for metal is where you want to be if you want a long-lasting bed.
That's correct. But then if you take it and try to use it in a mild steel, or you know, again, a composite or let's say a piece of wood, then it's super brittle. So it has tendencies to break. If the end user is not really careful with it, it can break.
There's nothing like trying to get that cobalt bit out of a hole it's broken into.
That's it. Yeah. So we looked at it, and again, we wanted to hit in the market right in between titanium and cobalt.
Oh, so wait a minute.
So you're not
telling me this is north of cobalt?
I'm not telling. I'm telling you it is south of cobalt, right between titanium and cobalt, but delivers. We tested it in both mild steel and stainless. It delivers up to 30x the life of those bits that are out there today.
That's amazing. And I feel like hearing it from Steven first. Then smash the like button. Free for you to do. Doesn't cost you a dime. Plus you'll get 7 years of good luck. Let us know down in the comment section below. What are you using to drill holes in stainless and mild steel? Are you using multiple styles of bits? Or would you be interested in something like this premium bit from Diablo? We want to know. Leave it all below. With that, I'm going to say I appreciate you and everyone for being here. Thanks a lot, everybody. Hope to see you all on the next one. We're about to give you a look at one of the most requested new tools from Milwaukee Tool for like 2025. You wanted it in 2024, we're already in 2025, but we got all the specifics. Bryn is going to give them to us.
All right, guys, here we're talking about our new M18 Fuel dual battery 9-gallon dust extractor with pack out and backlink. So this product is going to be Milwaukee's first large-scale battery-operated introduction into the OSHA compliant dust extraction space. It's got 2 filters and it's gonna clean one and then the other. So what that means, you're never gonna see a loss in performance at the end of your hose. Some competitive units take that airflow, they reverse it to clean those filters. That just creates a big cloud of dust at the end of the hose and stops your productivity. You're never gonna have that with our product, which is really exciting. It runs off either 2 M18 fuel batteries, but it also, in the back here, has an integrated AC plug.
It's an inlet.
So that inlet there is going to give you a little bit of extra performance. So that gives you 175 CFM, where the batteries give you 125 CFM.
Okay.
With those 2 batteries, you're going to get about 40 minutes of runtime on high mode. But we have 4 different modes of operation, so you step down, you'll get a little bit more power in each mode.
So Milwaukee, with their introduction to cordless vacuum cleaners, they wanted their wheels to be robust.
Yeah.
Is this the same style of wheel? What can we expect? Like, is it non-marring rubber? Like, what are we looking at?
Absolutely. So those back wheels are going to be that non-marring rubber, those really big wheels, heavy-duty job site. These front casters, also non-marring, but have that kind of versatility to give you that left-to-right maneuverability to kind of get you all over the job site where you need to be.
And some of you might think that question's like maybe not relevant, but me, being a commercial retail contractor, I'm rolling into malls and shopping centers. If we don't have the right wheels, we're not pulling into that mall.
So this is going to be our first product that introduces backlink wireless dust control. So with backlink, it allows compatible tools and remotes to connect to the dust extractor and provide remote on-off control of that tool. So here, strapped on to this grinder, we have our backlink wireless dust control remote. This remote here, you press that button and it's going to turn the dust extractor on without ever having to actually touch the dust extractor.
Give us a demo.
Well, the blade's on backwards. Or else it would. It really is.
So yeah, it turns that on and off there.
Wow.
Future state, we're going to have it built into the trigger of power tools. So we already have our random orbital sander with backlink. Today we just announced our new 7¼ inch fuel circ saw. That has backlink built in, and there's so much more coming on the backlink system on both the cleanup side of things and the power tool side of things. The backlink is only going to get bigger.
So you're saying this vac is on the M18 platform?
Correct.
So the 2 batteries allow it to just run longer? Can it run on 1 battery?
It cannot. It has to be dual batteries, so it has to have both of those batteries.
So can we agree that maybe it's like the M36?
No, Vince, it's M18, but it requires those 2 M18 batteries to run.
What's the price point on this?
Price point, bare tool, it's gonna be $7.99.
Wow.
Kitted with 2 forged 12-0s and a dual base supercharger, it's gonna be $12.99.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you. As crazy as this may sound, Milwaukee has a new circular saw blade, and Ryan is going to tell us all about it. You're saying that this blade is the matter of fact, he listed off so many things that it's the best at. I can't even remember all. Take it away, Ryan.
I got you.
Thank you, buddy. I didn't know if you were shaking, not shaking.
Hey guys, Ryan here with Milwaukee. We got a brand new, our new to world nitrous framing and demolition circ saw blade, delivering the fastest cutting and longest life circ saw blade to the market for that framing and demolition applications. This is a 7 1/4, 24 tooth framing blade, best for your demo applications, hitting that unexpected nail, screw, or fastener, so you're not ripping off teeth. A lot of downtime swapping out blades with what's currently out there in the market today. This will have the largest welded carbide tooth on a blade today, delivering 5x cutting life compared to the competition, as well as our nitrous carbide technology, delivering an unmatched durability in that hard demo application, rip cut, etc. This will also have our patented venting design to keep heat management and keep the core cooler for less blade warping and blade wobble on site. What we have today is a demo against a leading competitor where we will have a 2x4 of 7 screws spaced throughout, where we'll do head-to-head of that rip cut and that hitting that unexpected fastener to test that tooth durability strength.
So just in case you didn't hear it, because I almost didn't hear it correctly, they have a 2x4, it's gonna rip it. It's got 7 in their drywall screws.
T25 GRK fasteners.
So they're a wood screw.
Yep.
So they're a wood screw. They're not as hard as a drywall fastener, a little bit softer.
While that current technology of carbide's breaking, not able to use this blade anymore, simulating hitting that unexpected fastener, take nitrous. A lot of great tooth retention, able to take this blade from that demo application back to framing, so you're not having to swap blades out constantly, keep that tooth sharper. This will be launching in June this year at $25 a blade.
Is this paint or is this a coating?
This is a coating. So you have a coating spaced throughout with like a painted artwork. So that'll help kind of with that anti-friction coating with gumming, etc.
Gotcha. Is there any proprietary process into it, like attaching the carbide to the blade, or?
Yep, so that's all proprietary to us. So the way the carbide is welded to the backer is proprietary, as well as a nitrous carbide technology, helping deliver that unmatched cutting performance in those nails impacts.
I like that.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Thank you guys for the time. Enjoy today.
Thank you. You as well. So not only does Milwaukee Tool have new saw blades, I was just made aware they have a whole new bunch of saws, and we got Joe here. Woo! He's gonna go over them with us. I don't know who this guy is.
So new to this show, never before seen, is our 1-key version of our Sidewinder saw. So this is gonna have not only 1 key, our very first 1-key circ saw, it's gonna have backlink, so wireless dust control. So when I pull this trigger, it's gonna fire up this extractor right here. So on job sites that do mandate dust collection, you're gonna have the ability to use that in a very user-friendly way. That's gonna minimize any sore backs from having to push down and turn that on prior to and after every application. And then last but not least, an industry first, it has auto stop advanced kickback protection, which is new to circular saws and new to Milwaukee when it comes to circular saws too as well. So we use a predictive machine learning based algorithm to detect and sense kickback, right? Which can happen from a number of different scenarios, right? The wood's warped, your material supports are bad, inexperience even too as well. Hey, you have that guard pin back, which we know never happens, right? This will actually sense that kickback and shut the tool off faster than a human hand can react. Wow. So that extra layer of protection in an already long and fatiguing day. And this is gonna be an incremental addition to our baseline, sold alongside our baseline Sidewinder with a premium of $50. So for $50, you're gonna get one key, you're gonna get backlink, and you're gonna get auto stop advanced kickback protection. These are both gonna be in Q3 of 2025. How about I do a quick cut for you here with this rear handle circ saw?
I would love to see it. Let me get out of your way. So Joe, did you say this technology will soon be available on this saw, or there's no plan for that yet, 1K?
Yeah, so we're always innovating, we're always listening to feedback. We will eventually see this on the as an addition to the baseline of our rear handle, but we do not have it out today.
Can you give me the price points on these saws?
Yeah, so starting with our baseline Sidewinder. So this is going to be the one we launched last year.
So that's without one key.
Without one key, without backlink, without auto stop. That's going to be $249 bare tool.
Okay.
As we move down to the baseline rear handle, that's going to be $279 bare tool. And then we're going to have our one key version of our Sidewinder, a $50 premium to our Sidewinder baseline for $299 bare tool too as well. Perfect. So you're going to have $249, $279, and then $299 here to round out the circular saw lineup.
Thank you, Joe. We appreciate it.
Thank you for dropping by, Vince. Take care and enjoy your time in World of Concrete.
Since Jonathan don't know what we're talking about, I will tell all of you, don't buy any of their gear. Go on over to our merch store and you'll get the coolest tool tuber merch in the industry. Jonathan, if you want to compete with our merch, maybe you could tell us a little bit about yours.
Let's talk about it.
All right.
Biggest thing we're debuting at World of Concrete this year is our brand new FreeFlex Tech Pants. These will be shipping here in a few weeks. Been working on these for a while. Very lightweight design, lightweight fabrication. You can feel them yourself. Along with the lightweight, along with the movement, it's gonna have a ton of durability as well. You're gonna have reinforcements in the pockets. You're gonna have reinforced kick plate back here, really those high wear areas that we typically see failures, and then a ton of storage. So you're gonna have pockets all over. You can have secure storage on the left leg with a zipper pocket, multiple pockets down the right leg as well.
These are nice. What's the price point on these pants?
It'll be $79.99.
That's fair.
And then our core pants, which will be have a Gen 2 of our core pant, which I'm wearing right now. Gonna be your more traditional style work pant. We have that on the other side as well. $59.99 price point on those.
I'll admit, Milwaukee does a good job. Their hoodies are super warm. They're just warm. And they're not even the heated hoodies.
Not even the heated hoodies.
How do you achieve that, Jonathan? We want to know.
Yeah, so we have two different style hoodie. These are gonna be our lightweight hoodies, or midweight hoodies, sorry. Okay. Gonna be just overall super warm, super durable, not too heavy. We also have our heavyweight hoodies, gonna be a bit heavier of a fabrication, gonna be even warmer.
This feels nice. What is this?
It's my favorite hoodie. It's the most comfortable hoodie I own.
What's the fabric, did you say?
70 cotton, 30% polyester.
It feels good. Yeah. So the cotton, like, you know, it will help keep you warm and all.
Absolutely.
I suppose the polyester help to keep the shape, right?
It helps with the stretch and recovery. It's going to help with that fit, the feel and comfort as well.
It's almost like you at Milwaukee Tool thought it through.
We did. We pay just as much attention to these products as we do the rest of our tools.
Is there any genius built into these hats?
Yeah, so we actually have new beanies that we just launched in the fall of 2024. New fleece line beanies, new cuff beanies. We have a ton more colorways that we don't have here today, especially with the cuff beanies. But new design, really, really excited about these, super warm. And then obviously our hats, always a big hit. Let's keep walking around.
Tell us about the bibs here.
Bibs, yeah, these launched about a year ago now. These are gonna be our FreeFlex online bibs, so very similar story to the tech pants that we just talked about, built for movement. Anything that's in the FreeFlex collection is gonna be built for movement. Yep. Really cool features like you can insert knee pads into here as well. Tons of pockets on the chest, super durable. Yeah, really awesome design here.
And YKK zippers.
Absolutely, it's the best in class right there. Nice. You're gonna have utility loop and a hammer loop, one on each side, which is cool as well. Tons of storage.
I really don't wear bibs, but I just might start.
Flannels just launched in the fall of 2024. Really, really excited about these. Ever since we even announced them, they've been probably the most popular product in our portfolio, which is really awesome. They're gonna be a part of our gridiron collection.
How much are the flannels?
The flannels are gonna be $79.99, I believe.
This caught my eye almost immediately.
Yup.
This feels nice.
That's our FreeFlex Hybrid Tee. So again, FreeFlex gonna be built to move. Super lightweight, very comfortable, These are my favorite shirts that we have. I wear them every single day, whether it's just by itself or under. I'm wearing it literally right now.
Multi-layer, yeah.
Easy to layer over top, fits great. A lot of great colorways as well. We have that blue, black, green, and gray.
What do you have here? We know we're not talking heated gear.
We'll quickly touch on the soft shell here. So this was launched in the fall of 2023 as a part of our FreeFlex outerwear.
You have this outer material.
Yep.
Feels like it's good for workwear, right?
Absolutely.
But what is this? Is this Sherpa? What is that?
So that's fleece lined. So that's where
they said no Sherpa around here. We use fleece.
Fleece lined. So that's where that warmth is going to come from. You're going to have that fleece line throughout, providing a ton of comfort, a ton of warmth.
That's nice. Yeah. Let me ask you a question. Are these for sale at the show?
Not at the show, unfortunately, no.
Man, I didn't pack a jacket. I was coming to Vegas. Who knew it was going to be like 20 degrees here?
It's cold. It's cold.
We got underwear.
Yeah, so we got some workskin base layers. Workskin's going to be built to fight sweat. That's going to be our third collection. So you got Gridiron, FreeFlex, and Workskin. All of our workskin products are going to be built to fight sweat. We accomplish that in cold weather and warm weather. So these are going to be your warm weather workskin sun shirts. Very popular. Launched these a year ago. And then obviously you're going to have your cold weather base layers. So you're going to have tops and bottoms.
Do any of them have like stirrups, like to help with wind? What I'm saying is that sometimes these will ride off.
Yeah.
Do any of yours have stirrups that fit underneath?
We do not. It is something that has come up in the past. Okay. It's something that we definitely in a Gen 2 you can see.
Okay.
So you have our brand new Gridiron full zip hoodie. This is that heavyweight hoodie that I was telling you about.
Yeah, I feel that.
Super warm. Still not too heavy, but it's gonna provide a ton of warmth, ton of durability, and it's gonna have that full zip design if that's something you prefer.
That's nice.
Typically, you'll see hoodies having these, hang out, and what we hear from most of our users is that they immediately take them out because it's a safety hazard.
Okay.
So what we did was we added this in here to where if you want to tuck them away, you can tuck them actually on the inside of the product, zip it up, and then you don't have them hanging in the way.
That's good stuff.
If you still want to wear them traditionally, you pull them out and you let them hang traditionally.
It looks pretty cool running on the inside.
Yep, it's a clean look to it.
It is, it's really sweet.
And then two quick things, we got our Gridiron pocket tees. We actually life cycled these in the fall of 2023, improved the fit, improved the material and the design of it a little bit, added some cool colors. It's not gonna have that boxy fit that you typically see with competitor pocket tees.
Okay.
It's gonna have a nice fit to it. It's got a really nice soft touch to it, but still providing a ton of durability that you would expect with a pocket tee. Finally, our Sherpa line vest. This is gonna be our Gridiron Sherpa vest, both in khaki and in black.
Oh, wow.
Super warm, super durable, everything that you would want out of a Sherpa vest.
I guess Jonathan has some compelling outerwear here and base layers and a lot of technology built into something as simple as clothing. So I guess we appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thanks
for stopping by. I appreciate you guys.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're at the World of Concrete for 2025, and we're in the Milwaukee booth with the foremost expert on pack out and their new racking system. It's Tanner. What can you tell us about it, my friend?
Want to show you the new pack out rack. What we really wanted to focus on here was ultimate access to pack out. So these drawers, you can open these up, shop from that pack out, grab the tool that you need to go or the consumables that you need to go, grab and go. These are also securely locked in, so you can grab that box or lock it back in so that if you're in transit, it's going to be staying where you need to be. These drawers are adjustable. We make a lot of different size toolboxes, so we can fit all these different toolboxes in this pack out rack by adjusting the height of these drawers. The other perk is that these are continuing the modular story. So each one of these units is 20 inches high. So you can build these 1, 2, or 3 high and then stack and expand your environment. So if I need a worktop or if I need more dense pack out storage, I can do that with the same pack out rack system.
So the idea is allow the user to get to exactly the tools and toolbox that they need without having to unstack.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. And you said these are all adjustable. What, we just remove these screws?
Yes, sir.
And then a rack comes out almost like a server.
Yep.
Rack comes out, you slide it back in, screw it back in.
Yes, sir.
It's a single unit.
Yep. Every single drawer is adjustable and single. So all these different holes that you see here, you can adjust it to any different height.
And you said that the height on these is 20 inches?
Yeah, each rack is 20 inches, and then these legs are actually telescoping, so they're adjustable. So if I had a transit van and I wanted to put one of our rolling toolboxes or our new rolling drawer underneath there, I could raise that up, put that rolling drawer underneath there, and then still have that pack out drawer storage above it.
Gotcha. And this would represent three
racks, yep.
What's the price point on a single unit?
We're still dialing in the design on that. This is just a second round of prototypes that we have. So as we get more design figured out, we will.
We're seeing stuff not even on the market yet. So is this a specific top or?
We just depot butcher block.
Oh, so what you're saying is you can use this to create your own system, customizable fully, throw any type of top on there that you want.
Yeah, so we make these pack out wood work tops. I can take this off and then use this as a base to screw these into, and then I'll be able to lock these in. So I can remove this wood worktop, and then I could leverage the pack out cleats that the lids would have. So I can have different types of environments to stack and expand it in the Connex box, so I have this big, nice work surface here. We'll be launching Q4 this year. They're compatible with Ford Transits, Ram ProMasters, Mercedes Sprinters, Connex boxes, trailers, box trucks, you name it. And
so when you say it's compatible with, is there something along the walls of those vans that make this integrate, or what do you mean?
So our rack frame, the part that mounts this to the wall, the curvature of those van walls varies between the vehicle maker. So right now out of the gate, we'll be compatible with Ford, Ram ProMasters, and Mercedes Sprinters. And then we're gonna be working on future compatibility that will get us different brackets to mount to those different curvatures of the van geometry.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you, Vince.
We
Nice to meet
appreciate it. Nice to meet you. Milwaukee's done it again. They have a first to market ever charger that's optimized for the job box. And Madeline is going to tell us all about it. We're with Madeline.
Yes, hello. Welcome to World of Concrete. We're so excited to be announcing the M18 M12 Gangbox Rapid Charger. It is uniquely designed and optimized for the job box.
So this has been announced at this show, never before.
Never before. You are the first to see it. We've kept a very low profile design. It's magnetic, so I can actually show you right here. Magnetic, dismount, remount. You can optimize it anywhere within the box. There's also a cleat that allows you to slide on the front of the shelf as well.
I thought it was on a cleat.
Yes.
I didn't realize there's magnets on there. That's cool.
So you'll see a couple different options here on how we have the mounting capabilities. This is an M18 and M12 solution. So you'll notice both the outsides are M18 only. The inner bays are hybrid. We do have this 450 lumen floodlight. We know these boxes are stored in dark places. Our users are getting up and starting before daylight's out. So we can easily light up the box. You're able to grab what you need and get back to work.
This here is
it's
awesome.
the best feature.
It is. You want to know why? You don't need a headlamp. I don't need to pull a flashlight out.
Exactly.
It's right here for you.
Exactly.
I do like the USB chargers.
Yes, 2 USB-C. You can charge 2 devices simultaneously with 2 batteries. So it charges 2 at a time, 1 battery on either wing, and then flips to the other 2.
What's the price?
So we're launching in Q3 2025 this year.
You can tell me.
We are.
I won't tell nobody.
I know. We're holding off to share pricing till a little bit closer to launch.
All right, makes sense.
But similar price point to our other premium chargers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like $199. Gotcha. Thank you. Thank you,
we will
Madeline.
see. We'll be releasing that soon.
Appreciate it.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.